LOL. I'm finally showing my face. I got a little tired from sitting behind the camera and pointing at random things and whatnot. But I'm sitting in my R right now. Just came back from testing it from, since the cleaner tune was uploaded from Fischer Motorsports. He, addressed a few issues, corrected them. Had some standing issues since I had the Motek. It just needed some calibrations, because it's most of the time, the firmware is one size fits all for this FK8, the Civic Type R. But apparently it was some issues with my throttle position. It needed to be corrected. It wasn't in sync with the pedal because it's drive-by-wire. So whatever the percentage the accelerator pedal is being pressed, that's also the percentage of the throttle body, being open. So the throttle body was already open like 2.5%. So it wasn't jiving with the pedal, and the throttle wasn't jiving, so that was throwing issues. There were issues with the cold start. He addressed that. So, it was when starting in the morning, it wasn't providing enough fuel. Pretty much it was running lean during cold start. Other issues, the idle. With just running idle, I had it was kind of hung at times, and that actually fell under the throttle position as well. And then the MAV sensor had to be calibrated to a certain extent, to get everything jiving together. But that's all Fischer Motorsports took care of. Those are the standing issues right now. But he did trim the fuel a little, because he added 8% more fuel because he said it was running a little lean. Although, if I don't know if you're familiar with their DI direct injection engines, they tend to run leaner. They actually like it lean. I've seen a few dyno charts and they had it pretty lean, and the car was still making power. On a regular port injection car, it would have been misfiring all over the place. But amazingly, this car, it likes it lean, but it was too lean for him to see. He wanted to wait the dyno to see how the car responds before he start trimming fuel away. As of right now, he's pretty much, going to give it that 8%, and then we get on dyno, and then he'll, dial it back as necessary. See how the car reacts. If the car doesn't make power or lose power, he's going to leave it there. So he want to, stay on the side of caution, because, different environmental issues can, contribute to misfires and whatnot. So having more fuel, running a little richer, it also acts as cooling effect for the cylinders. It actually cools it. Rich is cooler. That's why when a car has a fault code and it, throws a check engine light, and it's gone pretty much most of the time, depending on what sensor it is, like your engine coolant temperature sensor, O2 sensor, I think your MAP sensor, all of those sensors, when they malfunction, it usually dumps fuel. You got black smoke bellowing out to your exhaust pipe. You probably could catch fuel, literally catch it in a cup out there. That's one of the things, because that's called limp mode. Pretty much you limping home because your car's not running at full potential. It's like derated down because of, it wants to save the engine, and richer is actually saving versus running lean. That's like one of the defaults in the computer. When it can't sense that sensor, it just, hey, throw fuel. And that's why, you have a lot of issues with the cars, underperforming when the check engine light comes on a lot of times. But other than that, Fischer Motorsports, they've been doing, he's done awesome with me so far. He's communicated. He actually tried to walk me through the Motek, and I don't know if any of you guys ever looked at a screen of Motek. It's mind-blowing. I mean, I was kind of well versed with Honda, the K Pro on my previous build, and Motek has, I mean, you could have 100 drop down menus just to adjust the throttle body. That's how in depth it is. Or 100 drop down menus to adjust fuel, because you can fine tune that injector to like the T. And it's like, versus, you know, other, you know, engine management, you know, it gives you a little leeway to adjust this and that, and not Motek. I see why it costs so much, because it's like a supercomputer. He actually showed me some of the data log, the live feed data log, when it's, you know, it's like, you know, a bunch of lines and they all like moving across the screen, and he paused it, took that section of the data log, blew it up, manipulated it, and put it back in there, and it changes everything. And the car never changed tune. It's like, it's that sophisticated. I was like, wow. I was like, that's something, you know, you see in like one of those sci-fi movies, but it was pretty cool. And I'm glad that I got Motek. I mean, a lot of people don't, you know, initially we got a lot of flack, me and a couple other guys. We bought Motek versus going your traditional Honda and K-tuner. And boy, did we catch hell from a lot of the owners, and a lot of these groups were like, I don't know if it was hate or whatever, but man, anything we said about Motek, they pretty much slaughtered us. They just, it was like wolves on a, you know, on a little small animal. They just surrounded us, and it's pretty much just like start throwing stones and talking trash, like, you know, Motek, Honda does this. And but then, you know, as the aftermarket world caught up to the FK8, now they see the limitations of Honda and K-tuner. I'm not bashing them. They're good platforms. If you don't want to go outside of stock turbo, you can go aftermarket turbo with e-wastegate. But I've seen that e-wastegate in higher boost areas, it's causing problems. And like with these big turbos, you know, it's a lot of these guys are running into issues. So I don't know, it may be just my personal, you know, view of it, but I'm thinking eventually, if you want to go big time, big power aftermarket, you're gonna have to go external wastegate. And as of right now, Rampage, myself, Bob Lee, and I, you know, I pretty much mirrored his build, versus he has the titanium inlet pipe, and I went aluminum, because I mean, I love titanium, but I like that aluminum look. It just seems to accent my engine bay, you know, a little better to me than you know, than the titanium look. So that's why I went with aluminum. And so far it's pretty nice. I mean, I like it. It gets a little warm. I installed the turbo blanket on it to cut down on the heat, the temperature on my intake. But you know, it's thin aluminum versus the cast aluminum one, so it dissipates heat a little better. You know, it's not like, you know, getting, you know, it'll cool. If I open the hood, it cools down pretty fast, versus the cast aluminum stock intake pipe, it freaking stayed hot for forever. You know, you got to literally put a fan on it and pretty much cool it down, because it retains so much heat. So but other than that, I mean, I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop. I'm also working on some fueling issues. I mean, I ain't gonna let this out the bag yet, but I'm gonna do some testing. But I found some injectors. I know it will work for Motek, because Motek, you can change, you can manipulate, and you can do all that stuff to allow them to work. But I'm really thinking that what I found may be the solution for a lot of people, and I'm going to let the cat out the bag once I'm finished testing, and then I'll let it out, and we'll see. And I'm sure everybody be happy. I'm doing it freely. I'm not, hoarding information and be like, if you want this information, you can buy it. No, I'm putting it out to everybody. I want everybody to succeed. I'm not that guy to try to hoard everything and feed everybody bits and pieces. I've seen some people, they say, oh yeah, I made this much power, but I got stock everything. Really, come on now. You and I know that, if you claiming all this power and you got a still shot picture, I can make a meme out of still shot picture. I can find someone's dyno chart, just say I picked up a super dynos chart, and I superimposed it against my picture. Say, hey, look at my car made this much power. No video of the dyno run. Most folks when they dyno, they show the car on the dyno, and as the dyno completes, finish that run, they go pan over to the screen, look at the screen. None of that. Just claims. To me, it's, I'm a picture guy or a video guy, rather more a video, because although you can still trick people with video, I rather, don't put out false stuff to the masses. Be truthful. You don't have to. I understand some people are chasing records. Oh, I want to be this. I want to be the first to make this much power. I want to be more, first to do this to the FK8. It's okay to do that, but you don't have to lie. I'm not lying. I'm keeping everything open. I'm being truthful. I'm not that kind of guy to try to make money off somebody. I want to get everybody out there and put all the parts out there available, so we can have a level playing field and everybody go their own routes. Brainstorm, go their direction, make their power that way, and maybe we can cross communicate and share the little views. Hey, I did this and this worked. Okay, we can pick information off one another, and we all can grow. We all can make power together. And you can have your little proprietary little thing that you made your power with, you don't want to share. Okay, it's fine. But the question is going to come out when you oh, I'm making this much power, and everybody else on the same playing field, and then you making not 2 or 3 horsepower more, 100 more, and and your parts don't pretty much back your horsepower. That's just like saying, hey, I made 400 horsepower on a stock FK8. Well, not 400. You can really make 400, but not really. You can make you can get up there on the stock, but your torque won't be that high because you got so much back pressure. So you got to get some of that flow out. But just say I'm claiming 450 horsepower on a bone stock FK8 with no adders, no intercooler, no no intake, no nothing. Somebody's gonna call BS on that because for one, you're gonna probably blow your bottom end out if it was true. But it's everybody's already been there. Everybody was chasing horsepower numbers when the FK8 first hit the market. Everybody's they trying to do things, but of course it took a while for the aftermarket world to catch up. But the community is they pretty knowledgeable right now, so it's kind of hard to pull wool over the eyes. You got the younger guys that they chase trends. They see this guy over here claim to make this power, they run over there, and then the other guy say, hey, I made more power over here, they run over there, while the older guy's sitting and just looking and watching. You're like, really? And I'll call BS on you. I'm not hating on you, but I will call BS if I think you deceiving somebody, because I've been in this game a long time, since 2000. I bought my Integra Type R in November of 2000, and I had a Jackson Racing Supercharger. I had Mugen full exhaust, Mugen headers, Mugen full exhaust, twin loop, and this was in 2000. Now everybody acting like Mugen is like the holy grail, but yeah, it's okay. It's more of a status than horsepower, really. It's more status. I had that exhaust, and I sold it and got thermal 3-inch and ran that for freaking, I don't know, freaking 12 years. And I never looked back because thermal was 3-inch, you know, true 3-inch all the way through, and that Mugen was like a little above stock. So it was quiet, but I mean, other than that, that was it. But I'm not a trend follower. I'm more of a, I would say I'm a trend setter, because I'm not that guy that goes down the typical path of everybody else. I don't like to follow crowds. I like to, you know, do my own thing, and that's the way I've always been. But I got a little sidetracked again. But you know, I was doing this since I was working on Honda since 2000, doing performance. But prior to that, you know, I'm second generation mechanic. My dad's a mechanic. He taught me a lot of stuff. And then I went to trade school, did 2 years, you know, built more on the stuff my dad, you know, added to, you know, stuff my dad taught me. And then I joined the military as a mechanic, and then, you know, I built on that as well. So I compiled all of this, and if I compile all of my mechanical experience, you know, it's over 30 years, you know, experience. It's well over 30 years. And you got these guys that have been doing, you know, not everybody that have a toolbox is considered a mechanic. You know, I got credentials, I got certifications, I got ASC certification, mass certification, and automotives, heavy diesel. I even done small engine stuff. You know, it's got an engine, I can do something to it. So, but as far as performance wise, I've been doing this for a while, so it's nothing, you know, you can't really pull the wool over my eyes, because I've been doing it for a while. And especially in the Honda world, I've been, you know, building engines before Fast and the Furious came out. You know, Fast and Furious came out afterwards, and you know, and it was pretty cool because I had a fast car, and everybody saw that, so they came to me. So yeah, I made bank on, you know, people wanting to follow Fast and the Furious. But you know, I was doing this stuff way before it came out, so I wasn't one of those, you know, those little followers again. You know, I did my own thing. So, but other than that, you know, that's enough. I didn't, you know, burn a lot of time. I don't know if anybody will actually watch this video in its entirety, but you know, I just wanted to show face, because I was always pointing the camera at, you know, my engine bay and talking. So right now you've got you know, a face to put behind the voice. And you know, if you want to make a meme out of me or whatever, so be it. I'm sure I'll laugh. But you know, just stay tuned, and I'll provide more content, and hopefully I'll get some numbers, so I can pretty much show you guys what the capability of this engine is. So all right, stay tuned.